Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about hemispheric specialization. Hemispheric specialization refers to the different and specific functions performed by the two hemispheres of the brain, usually referred to as the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain. The hemispheres separately are responsible for different neurological functions. Some beliefs that have been studied refer to the right side of the brain as comprehensive, perceptual, emotional, and language. The left side of the brain is more verbal, concentrated, and focuses on linguistic abilities. In 1983, scientists discovered that the right hemisphere skills derive from spatial processing abilities of the dorsal cortical pathway. In 1944, the left hemisphere's analytical cognition was drawn from the ventral cortical pathway that supports vision. Those who study hemispheric specialization focus on behavior and how each brain functions separately. Scientists will study patients who have suffered from extreme brain damage, patients who have gone through split brain surgery, and much more. Scientists go through different tests and studies so they can further understand the connections between mental disorders and learn how and why they are caused. One study led scientists to believe that one main component of schizophrenia is due to the loss or even a reversal of cerebral asymmetry. The lateralization part of specialization comes from the different effects on both sides of the brain. Visual and auditory information is sent to one hemisphere to the other hemisphere, which goes through the corpus callosum. In the image, you can see on the left side the analytical thought, detail-oriented perception, order sequencing, rational thought, verbal cautious planning, math and science, logic, right field vision, right side motor skills. And on the right side, you can see intuitive thought, holistic perception, random sequencing, emotional thought, nonverbal, adventurous, impulsive, creative, writing/art, imagination, left field vision, left side motor skills, and there's probably much more.
The corpus callosum is the neural structure that mediates the interhemispheric transfer of information, and as you can see, the corpus callosum is highlighted by the green. As stated before, one mental disorder that is related to hemispheric specialization is schizophrenia. In one study, a schizophrenic patient had learning and memory difficulty, which is normally found in the left region of the brain. Some of the schizophrenic patients were showing a decrease of connectivity between the two hemispheres due to a smaller corpus callosum that was shaped differently. This picture shows multiple pictures of the brain of a patient diagnosed with schizophrenia.
A study done by Braun et al. Stated that patients with some form of mania had lesions that were mainly on the right hemisphere, while patients with depression had lesions on the left hemisphere. One study reported that patients who tested showed more depressives in the left hemisphere of the brain compared to the right side of the brain. Tests that were run also explained that the right hemisphere decreased sadness, while the left hemisphere decreased happiness. Multiple tests have also been run regarding mental disorders such as obsessive compulsive disorder, panic disorder, eating disorders, and more on both the right and the left hemisphere of the brain. These tests have shown how both the right and left hemisphere work in the brain. In the image, you can see on the right side that there is display of the mania, and then on depression, you can see how no depression, there's a lot of more motion and movement on both sides, when on the other picture that you can only see a lot on the left side of the brain.
In regards to the neurochemistry associated with hemispheric specialization, GABA is very apparent. GABA stands for gamma aminobutyric acid. The formula for GABA is C4H9NO2 and has a molar mass of 103.12 grams per mole. It is an all-natural amino acid that also works as a neurotransmitter. As we have studied in class before, neurotransmitters are the brain's chemical messengers that transmit signals to neurons. GABA is also considered an inhibitory neurotransmitter because it inhibits certain brain signals and decreases activity in the nervous system. GABA's main role is to block certain brain signals and decrease the activity in the nervous system. The primary function is direct information transfer in the brain. GABA is seen to coincide with emotional disorders such as anxiety, stress, depression, and more. GABA supplements have been created to help people who are suffering from the mental disorders stated before.
Glutamate, also referred to as glutamic acid, is another chemical that helps deliver signals to other cells in the brain. Essentially, glutamate is seen as the most important neurotransmitter. People who suffer from high levels of stress are bound to have an increase of glutamate in the medial prefrontal cortex. A study using male rats showed that high amounts of stress can be seen in both hemispheres of the brain. When the rat's dopamine receptors were triggered, the left hemisphere enhanced the glutamate levels on the right side, while the right hemisphere had a weaker effect on the left side. The tests on the rats shown that the two hemispheres communicate with each other when responding to high levels of stress.
A person's hemispheric specialization is primarily based on a person's gender and class. When processing emotions, a person has to be able to interpret the emotion and discover the ultimate impact of the words being said. Once a person understands the impact of what is being said, it is up to said person to react to and express their own emotion. In today's society, men and women are known to react to certain things differently. Men are believed to be more capable of handling reactions and suppressing their emotions, while women are supposedly more prone to expressing themselves and their emotions, whether it's anger, sadness, happiness, or etc. When testing hemispheric specialization on men, there was a strong emotional word advantage, or EWA, in the right hemisphere after the left visual was studied, and no emotional word damage after the right visual field was studied in the left hemisphere. This is inconsistent, though. The EWA test only showed a few hemispheric specialization results. When looking at the behavioral differences between men and women, we see that a woman's hemispheric specialization follows their menstrual cycle. EEG tests have shown that during a woman's menstrual cycle, the hemispheric specialization is enhanced. In men, hemispheric specialization is seen to be more accurate and steady. However, when a woman is on birth control, the hemispheric specialization tends to be more accurate. After multiple tests, Cacioppo et al. Concluded that women menstruating register emotional words differently than neutral words due to their hemispheric specialization being affected by their period.
Thanks for watching!
And this is our works cited.
Are you done